Hello, gamers and gamettes. What is going on? My name is Tanek127, and welcome back to another video. And man, the only thing I can say about this video is, guys, I kept my word. And I kid y'all not. I said in my last Marvel's Avengers video, and I was not playing. I was not coming back to this game until serious changes were made. So, just for a quick recap, for those who don't know, I had been covering Marvel's Avengers a bit here on the channel since pre-launch. I was enjoying it a lot after launch. And then the developers, a little bit before the next gen version came out, they made this silly mistake of nerfing character leveling progression. Which I honestly don't even know if it was reverted. I haven't bothered to go back and check yet, but that was just one thing that really pissed me off. And the reason for that is because the game's biggest issue was its lack of content, especially with, endgame and stuff like that. And there are people out there that argue, and I hear the same thing, especially from a lot of media and other journalists, content creators all the time. Well, it shouldn't have been a games as a service and blah 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 blah. All right, real talk. It's time we get over that. The game's here. It kind of is what it is. So I think the best route going forward, trying to make the game better at what it currently is. And I don't know. A lot of people just don't seem to let that part go. And I get it. I'm not stupid. I get it. It's a superhero game. Not everybody wanted, like some live service Destiny type title or MMORPG style game, but honestly, me being an MMO loving guy and a dude who loves Marvel, sorry. I find Avengers kind of cool, but that's just me. I know it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. A lot of people would want a more single player story driven game, and I understand that. I'm not dumb. I get what you guys are saying, but I just think harping the developers and screaming it at the top of our lungs on YouTube over and over again that Avengers should have been a single player game, I don't think that's gonna do too much. And I have to say, they do a pretty decent job of blending the whole single player and multiplayer aspects. So for those who don't know what's happened in the world of Avengers since I left, basically the War of Wakanda happened, which was their first expansion to the game. And one reason I really have to give Marvel's Avengers props is because this expansion is free. As long as you bought the base version of the game, this expansion is free. And, not to knock any other games or anything out there, but we do have one free-to-play live service loot-style game that charges people every expansion. Destiny. I don't know. Compared to, some other service models out there I've seen, and, for them to launch an expansion that big with that much content and a new character being added along at that, I think that's pretty good. And the content that they have coming up looks pretty promising. It looks like Avengers is about to get its first raid, which is called Discordant Sound Raid. Spider-Man's coming to the game. Unfortunately, he's a PlayStation exclusive, which I think is a really stupid idea. I mean, I honestly think they should have busted their asses to get crossplay in this game before Spider-Man came out. Because, God forbid people make really unique and good Spider-Man builds that could actually help out raid teams and stuff like that when this raid comes out. If you're an Xbox or a PC player and you don't have access to Spider-Man yet, but you have a friend on PlayStation, you could add that friend to your party. And now that's just going to make the raiding scene even weirder. Like, remember how annoying it was when PlayStation had exclusivity with Destiny? And, how pissed off their community was? It's kind of like Avengers didn't exactly learn from, that whole experience. But I don't know. Hopefully, Spider-Man's a character that ends up coming to other platforms sooner rather than later, or cross-play with the game gets here sooner rather than later. But we do have, what looks to be a lot of cool things. Now, granted, just because the game's getting a raid finally, me personally, I'm excited. I'm not going to say, I'm completely satisfied yet and Avengers is off the hook with me. Because it ain't. Far from it. I'm going to tell you what raids do in games. Alright? There's going to be all this hype when the raid first comes out. People are going to rage at it for a while because it's hard. They're learning the mechanics and stuff like that. Some random group's going to get world first. Chances are it's going to be a big group of like popular streamers or content creators. One of them is going to put out a guide. The rest of the world is going to finally catch on, watch that guide, start running the content and everything. People are going to, to get their weekly or bi-weekly drops. However the drop rates on the raid are going to work. I haven't looked too much into it yet. And then once they finally get fully raid geared up, they're going to be bored all over again. And we're going to be circling right back to square one. And people are going to be complaining all over. Avengers still has no content, yada, 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 despite the experience that they were just given. And as much as that sucks, but it's the typical live service game MMORPG trend. It happens with every single game. I kid you not. Even Final Fantasy XIV had this problem at one point in time. There was a point where Wanderer's Palace and Amdapor Keep were the only two endgame dungeons where you could farm your Darklight gear when Final Fantasy XIV came out. Yeah, that's right. I played Final Fantasy XIV back that far. But anyway, that's not the point of this. But what I want to see from Avengers, one big thing I really want to see is I want to see more characters get added to this game more frequently. I think that's one really big thing that they could use to their advantage, and also a kind of a big turnoff for a lot of people. This game launched with so little characters, and they just still slowly drizzle out. It's unreal. There were so many characters leaked in data mined. I think War Machine's supposed to be in here. Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange. There were all kinds of characters leaked from like the games. I don't know if it was the beta or the launch build. I don't remember, but they got like a huge list of leaked characters on Reddit a while back. And I'm another data mine, so some of them may happen, some of them may not. Some of them are probably prototypes and stuff like that. I mean, I get it. It's leaks. It's not all coming to fruition, but man, dropping more characters in this game is one of the easiest ways they can keep their player base busy, and they don't take advantage of it. And the thing is, it's small content. Yes, it'll be repetitive. You're just taking a new character and running the same old crap over and over. But then again, it's giving you a character to your play style and something else to do with the current content in there. And especially now that the first raid is finally going to be in the game, honestly, over the next 6 months, I hope they somehow drop 2 or 3 more characters. That would easily give people, extra and more fun things to do. Now, they were pretty good with it, when they dropped Hawkeye and Black Panther. Those weren't too far away from each other, but I still think, they could be closing the gap a little bit. But the one thing Avengers needs to just harp on, period, and especially, to start appeasing people. And, instead of us just all reflecting in the past, talking about what Avengers did wrong and stuff like that, because you know how these live service games go. It's always the same thing. They start off slow, sloppy, not much content, and then they blow up being this big magical beast later on. So let's skip to the end chapter. The main thing Avengers just needs to harp on is content. Content. And that's whether it's, more instances for player to do or more characters. Me personally, if I were them, I would aim at dropping characters more often. That's an easy way to make repeatable content feasible. And, that'll give them time to build up some of, the better and bigger things that they have planned. But that's just my personal opinion. I don't know, guys. Are any of you still playing Marvel's Avengers? And let me know how you're feeling about it at this current point in time. But anyway, guys, y'all enjoyed today's video? Smash that like button. I will see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Have a good one.